want to share with you one of the best things that my therapist ever said to me when I was a stepmother for a short while.
Stepmother for a short while. She got fired. Hey, this is Mr. Marketing. Today we're talking about customer service. What do you do that keeps people engaged and satisfied in your product? You. We have our life coach here, Rochelle Indra, and she's going to not give us examples on how to serve other people's needs other than your own. Here we go.
I want to share with you one of the best things that my therapist ever said to me when I was a stepmother for a short while.
Stepmother for a short while. She got fired.
I do this, I was screwing up, I was doing it wrong, I was going to damage them for the future, all this sort of thing. So I sit down in my therapist chair and I say, I am the worst mother ever.
That part is healthy. If you fail to reach a goal that you are striving for, it's a great time to step back, look at things from a marketing perspective and think, okay, I was shooting for this, I didn't get this, how did we get here? So self-reflection is a great thing.
And she smiles at me and says, no, you're not. You're a good mom. I'm like, no, I'm a terrible mom. I haven't even told you the story yet of why I'm a terrible mother. Like, shouldn't you wait and hear the story first?
Yeah, no, I agree. If you're telling me that, hey, I'm having issues achieving these certain goals, I want to hear the details. I want to know how things went well, how things fell apart, and then we can actually get you to a better place so you can achieve those goals.
She looked at me and smiled and said, no, I know you're a good mom because only good moms worry about being bad moms.
Okay, so this is going to entirely depend on how you want to define a bad mom. If by bad mom you mean someone that does not want the best for their children, that does not take care of their children, or puts no effort into taking care of their children, then okay, sure. You know, the ability to step back, worry if you're doing a good enough job, that does negate that definition of bad mom. The definition of bad mom, it does not negate our moms that may want to do the right thing, but do not. The problem is, if you don't have the core competency to imply to your children the values and skill sets they need to grow up, and you're implying the wrong skill sets, your intentions do not matter. You have failed your child. Now, don't get me wrong. I realize I just went after one of America's holy grails. I am in no way, shape, or form saying that if a child grows up and they do not succeed as an adult, that's necessarily the parent's fault. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that being a parent is a job like any other in the aspect that competence is important. You have a surgeon operating on you, and they have the best intentions in the world. They only want what's best for you, but they end up killing you. None of his intentions matter. And being a mom, same exact thing. Is everybody gonna make mistakes? Absolutely. Regardless of your intentions, if by your action or inaction you have stunted your child's growth, that does not make you a good mom.
You ever notice how it's easier to hate somebody for the decisions they make than to have compassion for the reason they made them?
Okay. All right, y'all. I'm just trying to be patient today. I really am. But it's hard. Unfortunately, in America, we have a victimhood culture that as long as something bad happened to you in the past, that you are not responsible for your actions today, and that is bullcrap. Let's say, sake of the argument, I came from an abusive household, and all I knew was getting my ass beat night and day. I carry this trauma, I carry this pain, and so I beat all my domestic partners. Would that be okay? Would compassion wipe away all the trauma I would inflict on other people in this case? No! Having a sob story does not relieve you of the consequences of your actions. So while I'm all about empathizing with somebody and understanding where they're coming from, that's not an automatic get-out-of-jail-free card for your bad decisions.
There are people who spend years in a relationship or a marriage and think that because they've been in it for a long time, it must be successful, because that is what society sells us. But it's not true. We all know people who are in long relationships, marriages or otherwise, and they are incredibly unhappy, incredibly unhealthy, incredibly dysfunctional. And we've all known relationships that have lasted a short time that were really healthy and beautiful and wonderful and special.
That much is accurate. Just because you have a long relationship does not mean the relationship is healthy. I absolutely agree. Here's where things get a little twisted though. The same question you have to ask in a long-term relationship is the same question you have to ask in a short-term relationship. Why did it end? And assuming you're like the majority of people that wants a long-lasting relationship, a long-term relationship, especially as you get older, the natural question that's going to pop up is, why did the relationship even last this long? Were you two incompatible? Was one party just abusive? There are so many questions that factor in, so it's not a matter of having short-term relationships makes you a bad person or inept in relationships, but if none of your relationships can last, you need to start asking why.
So I cut my hair, y'all. I chopped it all off. And I'm somebody who grew up with short hair and loved it. I've always been a short hair person. And then as I gained weight, I started to listen to the people who said, oh, if you have a little bit of weight on your face, you should have long hair to distract. And I can't believe I listened to this for 10, 15 years. Distract from what? Distract from my face? Because if I have weight on my face, it's not okay, and I need to distract from it? Why? This is my face. This is my face. I use this face to date.
Wait, so you're against society's beauty standards and accepting yourself for who you are, but you're rocking more foundation than my apartment complex.
When's the last time you said no without giving an excuse? You get to say no, and you don't have to justify yourself, and you don't have to lie, and you don't have to make an excuse. You can simply say no, period. End of statement. You get to say no just because you want to.
Okay, on the one hand, valid. You do not always have to give an excuse or justification for why you do things. Valid. Part of not being an asshole, though, is being considerate. And one of the many ways you can do that is by letting somebody else know that, hey, even though I'm rejecting this offer, doesn't mean that I'm rejecting you or that I don't like you. Other basic considerate things. So what do we get from this montage here? One, we figure out she got fired from being a stepmom, and instead of taking the opportunity to improve herself, she just decided she's good enough. Two, that as long as she's got an excuse, she doesn't have to be accountable for her own actions. Three, just because there's some people in long-term relationships that didn't succeed, she doesn't have to ask why her short-term relationships didn't succeed. Four, she knows beauty standards and presenting yourself well are important, but she doesn't want to put the work into it, so she'll find a reason not to do it. And five, doesn't put all that much emphasis on being considerate to other people. Why is this all important? Verizon, AT&T. They're not sponsors, they're examples. Verizon, with the best network coverage in the country, only has 29% of the cellular market share. AT&T, on the other hand, has 44%. Why? If you go to Trustpilot, Verizon has a 1.5-star review rating, and that is with over 3,000 people reviewing them. And what's the common thread in all this? Their customer service is trash. Whereas AT&T has a 3.8-star review on Consumer Affairs. So even if your product is the best, that doesn't mean your company is going to be the best. Let's just say that you're awesome. The product is yourself is amazing. If you're not willing to put in the work to maintain healthy and satisfied relationships, it's not gonna matter. Because I don't care who you are, I don't care how special you are, there are always going to be issues that arise in any relationship. It could be something small as miscommunication, and it could be as huge as cheating. And customer service is going to require core competencies, the ability to empathize with somebody, see where they're coming from, then have the initiative and the skill set to attend to their needs in the way that they need them. One, take accountability for your own actions. It doesn't matter what your intentions were, it doesn't matter what the circumstances were, it doesn't matter what happened 50 years ago. None of that matters. What happened is what you did or did not do. Take accountability. Two, in a similar vein, is just having a sob story does not negate any consequences that you may have brought upon yourself. Three, do not compare your screw-ups with someone else's screw-ups so that you feel like you're breaking even. Understand where you're weak and work on that. Four, don't stop putting effort into the things that people want just because it's hard for you to do. Matter of fact, that's usually what needs to be worked on the most. And number five, this is not Reddit. Just because you're not contractually obligated to give something to somebody doesn't mean that you should not. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This is Mr. Marketing. See you next time.